Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Two Guys, Zero Planners, brought to you by Pen Chalet. If you want a great stationery experience at good prices with fast shipping and free shipping in the US on orders over $50, head on over to penchalet.com and earn your way towards a free bottle of ink while you're at it with double points on the 24th of every month with their ink rewards program. So head on over to Pen Chalet, click on that radio podcast link at the top of the page, and enter 2 guys, that's the number 2, guys, all one word, for 10% off site-wide. And thank you to Pen Chalet for sponsoring 2 Guys, Zero Planners. So, Urban, we're kind of a week behind, 2 weeks, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. A week, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Something about a vacation getting in the way, or something or other.
Yeah, and then one more day because of Monty Python.
Wait, what?
Well, we were supposed to record yesterday, but the night before, my wife took me to the cinema because it was 40 years after the release of Life of Brian, and we got to watch it and get stickers and a poster and a fake beard and everything.
Okay, then all is forgiven. Wow. Oh, just wow. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I both envy you and hate you at the same time.
Yeah. So I now have stickers on my notebook that say the People's Front of Judea and stuff like that.
Oh wow, that is pretty awesome. Okay, that's a valid excuse for delaying recording.
As is a vacation, I think.
Yes. 3 weeks away from life is always a good thing.
That's true.
Yeah, the bad thing is I've only got like 1 day and 5 hours of paid time off remaining for the rest of the calendar year.
Whew.
Yeah, well, technically it's 2 days and 5 hours, but one of those days I've already taken off to go to the Dallas Pen Show later this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't get sick or hurt myself again. Yeah, let's try to avoid that. I really need to space out my paid time off.
That would be probably a good idea, yeah.
Well, and the good thing is here in the States, we have quite a few summer holidays that tend to also be paid time off as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that works in my favor. I'll still have a few 3-day weekends scattered here and there.
Okay, at least that, yeah.
At least. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much what ended up turning it from a working vacation into a real vacation was me messing up 3 of my videos before I even left Oklahoma.
So now you have to redo them?
No, I just tossed them out.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even remember what they were anymore, but I just tossed them out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, kids, boys, girls, adults, whenever you're filming something, whenever you're doing video, don't put your camera on auto white balance ever.
Yeah, especially if you want to show something in close to real colors, right? Like pens or ink. That's true. Yeah.
Right. Or when you're bringing a pen in the center frame, suddenly the white balance shifts and then everything shifts out again. Yeah, pretty much the footage was ruined because the white balance decided to try to autocorrect about, what was it? It was 190 times that I counted in one 10-minute video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bit too much.
Yeah, there's no way to manually correct that. So once that happened and I wasn't able to get the audio isolation that I wanted, I just tossed everything out the window and hoped you, Michael, and Phil would forgive me.
Sure. I mean, it's not like, vacations are important. I mean, I saw the video of you and the dogs by the stream, and that looked really calm and really nice. Yeah,
it was. The general rule of thumb was every morning, the girls and I would drive out to that river, and we would stay there for a few hours, and then we'd go on a bigger hike in the evening. So it was very nice. The crazy thing, though, that opening waterfall, that opening like kind of weird mini waterfall area,
Mm-hmm.
used to be a 12-foot tall waterfall
Oh,
last year.
okay.
It's that particular river is in a box canyon, and it just snowed and rained so much that a lot of the rocks just collapsed in and completely reshaped the river.
Interesting. Yeah, you would never guess.
No, I took a picture of the top of a black rock that last year was about 12 feet tall. And this year you could only see the top foot of that boulder.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
It was crazy, but still relaxing, and the dogs enjoyed it. So that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, and before I went on vacation, I finally got my Brooks pen back.
Yeah, I saw the video that you posted.
Yeah.
You were reviewing the ink, but I think the star was the pen.
Yeah. The review for that pen's probably going to be in a few weeks.
Yeah, that is a really, really cool material.
It is. I traded a Pelican M400 for it in Chicago last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mike from Ink Dependence was like, hey, you could always try trading some of your pens to get other pens. And then that started the whole buying spree last year.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, penablers. They're interesting people sometimes.
They somehow seem to be everywhere we go, right? So surprising.
It's a very interesting community we live in. They're nice people, but it seems like everyone in this community is perfectly fine with spending money from your wallet instead of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me doesn't see anything wrong with that. Does that mean I'm a horrible person?
No, it just means that sometimes you are on the receiving end, right?
This is true. This is true. What's this about you only taking one of your pens to Berlin? I thought you were going to take two.
Yeah, I was, and then I decided, yeah, let's just take one pen. So I spent 1 week with just one pen, and then so it was a Quebec Sport eyedropper, and afterwards I really had to dump the rest of that ink out because 1 week with just an orange ink is maybe too much.
Oh, I know the feeling.
And then somehow I decided to, I don't know, at least that was the start. And then I looked at the other, I don't know, around 10 pens that I had inked, and I thought, maybe I cleaned that one and haven't used that one in a while. Let's clean that as well. And then in the end, I ended up with just one inked pen, which hasn't happened for me since I don't know how long.
I do see that at least it finally gave you a reason to use the pen pillow.
That is true, yeah, because now with just one pen, it sort of lives on the pen pillow because it's a pen without a clip right now, so that is very useful in that case.
Now, okay, I know we call them kimonos, but since the pen actually rests in it and it doesn't actually wrap around like a bathrobe or a kimono, shouldn't we be calling it a sleeping bag?
Yeah, that would fit the story from last time from my wife much better, right? Sleeping bag for the bed and pillow. And
she brings up a valid point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a very valid point.
I mean, the pillow is for when on the desk where the pen is resting, but the kimono is when you are on the go, right? So maybe that's a better name then.
It could be. It could be. I mean, I don't know. I think we need to start a movement to rename some of our accessories.
Yeah. You think so? Like what?
Let's start with kimono and then work from there. I don't know all the other names right off the top of my head here, but
okay.
There's a few terms I'm sure could definitely be renamed and work out quite well.
So sort of think about the theme before and then name everything accordingly.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
And I mean, are we going to have different regional names for it? Like, I mean, I can see where kimono kind of started off as like the traditional pen sleeving for Japanese pens. I get it. It looks cool because they're normally decorative. They've got the nice floral prints or whatever on them. It looks kind of like a kimono, but it doesn't open up like one. And I guess the literal-minded person in me is like, if it's going to be called a kimono, it needs to expose the pen like a kimono.
Now, that would be a fairly useless thing for carrying a pen around, right? And very difficult to use.
Theoretically, but you could have a sleeping bag inside a kimono. Although then at that point, I don't know. I think maybe I'm taking my crusade a little too far.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, anyway, so that pen ended up keeping inked.
So, I mean, the other good thing, you finally finished your 2018 bottle of ink in 2019.
In April of 2019. So that's I think it was even last year that I filled that pen because it's an eyedropper. So I filled it with the rest of my bottle of Rhodia and Klingner Verdigris. And I finally, because it was the only pen, I used it all the time, and I finally managed to finish it, which is a bit late, but also great in the same. So,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Looking back on it, I actually didn't finish a single bottle of ink in 2018.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, because I think you and I discussed that we're not going to count bottles that we dumped out.
Yeah.
Which means all 5 of my organic studio bottles don't count for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 3 of them had mold issues, 2 of them had crust issues, and one of them, I think, was getting ready to turn. It started to smell pretty heavy of iron, and it wasn't an iron gall ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad sign for quality control when your fountain pen ink smells like iron and it's not supposed to.
Yeah, that's true. And you don't have enough cheap pens to play around with and ruin.
Yeah, I actually just realized the cheapest pen I own is a Benu Briolette.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. My collection has morphed quite a bit over the last little bit. Yeah. I bought a Pelican M800.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Which color and which nib?
The Stone Garden. I'll give you 2 guesses at what size nib.
Extra fine.
No.
Well, yes, I had 2 guesses. So,
that is true.
Yeah. Did you get a broad?
Yes, I got a broad.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get a Pelican broad.
So is it really as broad as everyone says?
Actually, this one writes like a regular broad.
Oh.
Yeah, it writes the same width as my steel Yovo broads.
Interesting. That is still sort of fine, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, it still has spring. It still has a little bit of give to it, but it's not as broad as my Nakaya double broad.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was a spur of the moment purchase while I was on vacation.
Yeah. Eventually I want to get a high-end Pelican as well.
Well, I was sitting there talking with Ron, and we were looking through what they had in stock. And I've wanted the Stone Garden for a while, but it was a pen that I wanted to see in person.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went in there. He's like, yeah, we've got 3 broads in stock. I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at them, hoping in the back of my head, I hope it doesn't look good. I hope it doesn't look good because I don't want to buy it. He opens all 3 of them and they look beautiful.
Okay.
And I'm just like, there goes my money. So.
And you're in the US. They are probably not cheap.
Okay. Disclaimer time, even though I'm not going to be doing the review video on it for like 3 months, probably. I got that pen at a discount for review.
Mm-hmm.
That phrase is second nature to me now.
Mm-hmm.
But unlike some of the other review pens, I'm definitely keeping that one.
Mm-hmm. At least for now.
No, I'm keeping that one.
Okay.
Yes. The Nakaya and the M800, I'm keeping. And the Brooks Charleston. Actually, I've got my collection now to where I'm keeping all of the ones I currently have.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not at that. Well, I'm at that point as well because I'm just too bored to sell anything.
Well, I'm to the point where there's going to be pens that I buy to do reviews, and then I may sell them later, but, no more than what I paid for, because I'm not going to sit there and mark up a pen that I got a discount on for a review. That would just be unethical.
Like the Diplomat Arrow, right? And then you had to buy one in an ugly color and a broad nib, so I couldn't buy it.
Hey.
Somewhere else.
One of our listeners bought that pen.
Okay. Well, I got one for about the same price that you sold yours, and in orange and with a medium nib. So everyone is happy, I guess.
Well, and not everyone likes orange.
Yeah, that's true.
This, of course, I'm saying after I bought a orange Pilot Custom 74.
No, that one as well. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I had one as well, but somehow the nib wasn't as nice. Or it was just the ink that didn't play well with the pen.
Well, I found out on this vacation that I wasn't using the drone as much as I ever thought I would, because I got a real camera and stuff, and then found I liked ground-based photography more than flying.
Mm-hmm.
And I may have worked out a deal to where I was able to pick up a brand new in-box Pilot 74 and a whole bunch of ink for the drone. So I'm going to call that a good trade.
Yeah, that's good. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the first person to write with this broad nib, so I'm cool with it.
Mm.
Did we talk about why I always get broad nibs?
Not really, no. And then you still write within the dot grid, and it's very hard to read because you use broad nibs.
I saw that in the letter that you wrote me. You're going to be getting my reply here in a few days, because I actually mailed the reply out like 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrote with 3 different pens on the reply.
Okay.
2 of them are mediums, because the 2 Bennu pens I got are medium nibs. And then I wrote with my Nakaya.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And yes, the writing is pretty much the exact same size. I don't know what it is. When I'm doing my signature, I can write bigger. But when I'm just writing, my mind automatically constrains me to whatever size the paper is. So, like, the majority of the letters I write to you are on 5mm dot grid Tomoe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I'm doing a lot of my ink reviews or in one of my journals, those are like 6mm or 7mm. So my writing's a little bit bigger. But I've mentally always matched it to the constraints of whatever grid or line that I'm using.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That happens to me as well. You can adjust sort of to the lines that are around. But with dot grid, I'm actually okay ignoring it sort of and using 2 at once.
It's kind of a weird mental block for me. I still find myself just staying constrained.
Yeah.
And I think I'm one of the few people that actually writes a letter with a double broad that small.
Yeah, I think so too. Should I try it with in the reply? I can try as well with the Pelican M205 with a double broad. Let's see.
That should be interesting, because your reply is going to be on 4mm, so you'll have me beat on that one.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, then I'll turn right around and make a special 3mm dot grid.
Well, I've done that, but not as a dot grid, but just as a guide sheet.
I can only imagine how painstakingly tiny the writing has to be for that.
Yeah, well, I have a few really, really fine nibs, so it's fine. It works that way then.
Oh, by the way, I finally found a red ink that I like.
Huh. Cool. I'm not sure I found a red ink that I like yet.
Yeah.
So which one?
It's Diamine Burgundy Royale.
Okay.
The 150-year anniversary ink.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the color on it.
Okay. Yeah, I have a few red inks. I think I should give them a try at some point.
I'm trying to remember if I even swabbed that one yet. I know I've got a few Noodler's inks that I need to swab up. But yeah, I actually found another Noodler's ink I like too, and that would be the Dromgool's USS Texas. Um, what is it? Limited edition ink for their shop down in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice ink, kind of a teal black.
Okay, so one of those that are close to black, but not really.
Right, and
In the end.
it's got more of a teal look to it than it really does a blue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good combination, and I haven't had any feathering with it either on Rhodia or Tomoe.
Oh,
So
that's good. Yeah, but that's sort of the lowest bar to cross, right? Not feathering on Tomoe River and Rhodia.
okay, let me clarify on Rhodia. The Rhodia Goalbook paper. So the
Okay.
really spongy paper.
Okay, that's I thought about the pad, yeah. Yeah, the other paper is sometimes
Yeah, the
surprisingly
dot
bad.
pad paper. If you feather on dot pad, you're doing it wrong. It is really easy to feather on a Goalbook.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It really is because the way they did the table of contents in that book and the way they've already got everything pre-numbered, it's a good notebook, but they put crap paper in it.
Yeah. I mean, you have this other Clairefontaine notebook that I still haven't tried. Maybe that even has better paper. I'll see. Because this is also basically has a table of contents and all the pages are numbered.
And that's a Clairefontaine.
Clairefontaine, oh, I don't know. They're weird names. Something about the age bag. Something, I don't know. They have, or My Essential. They have really weird names. I mean, they're French.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the only Clairefontaines I have are the I think it's the Triumph writing pad for stationary purposes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's what I'm currently using for. That's where my 4mm dot grid is printed on, basically.
Ah, okay. See, I got the ones that were already lined, and those lines are too huge. So I really just use that for like nib testing if I feel like I have to make an adjustment.
Yeah. Yeah, those lines are huge. That's, yeah.
And it's a good paper if I can, a good paper for figuring out if I can get a pen to write consistently on that, it's going to write consistently on every other paper that I have.
Yeah. I mean, I probably won't get any more because it's nice paper and it's coated so it doesn't feather, but somehow there's also very little sheen on it for some reason.
Now, you wrote the last letter to me on that bank paper, right?
Yeah, I think
I don't
so.
like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah, I tried writing on one of the blank spots that you left. I don't know what it was about that paper, but honestly, like the cheap paper that you get at the supermarket when you're in elementary school felt much better than that. I mean, granted, the ink didn't look as good, but tooth wise, it didn't feel that good.
Yeah, it is fairly toothy. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, now, did you get that direct from Daryl, or how did you get that paper?
No, you can buy that from Life Stationery.
Oh, okay.
So as a pad.
Maybe Daryl has a different source with better bank paper, but I know he sings that stuff's praises all the time, and I don't know. Maybe there's something about it that I'm just not understanding. Maybe. I hope.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's just some people like it and some don't. I have some pens that sort of skip like crazy on that paper, and they're fine on other paper. And yeah, I've heard that from other people as well. It's just, I don't know.
Huh. Well,
I guess I will go back to Tomoe River for most purposes in the end,
including pencil.
including pencil. Yeah, because I have this pocket notebook, so this Pebble stationery, which is 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. And if you're on the go and you write something and then you have to wait 30 seconds until the ink is dry, that is sort of, I don't know, not the best experience. So
Yeah.
I'll just use pencil in it.
Speaking of dry times, I don't know. Would you recommend that, like when I do the dry time part of my review for inks, that maybe I do it on two separate papers instead of just Tomoe River? Because part of me feels like I'm being unfair to the ink if all I do is a dry time sample on Tomoe River paper.
I don't think so. I mean, you sort of build up a body of dry times of inks, and then you can compare, and then it's fine, I think.
That is a good way to look at it.
And then you just say this dries faster than others or takes longer. So I think that's fine.
Yeah, because when I look at dry time, I look at it as kind of I know things are always going to dry slower on Tomoe, but if an ink dries in 15 seconds on Tomoe River paper, I'm going to consider that a faster drying ink, regardless of what paper you put it on. And if it takes a minute, then, well, it's just going to be a super slow ink.
Yeah, I think this is just fine, doing it like that.
Oh, me, always overanalyzing things. Well, my friend, one thing I don't want to overanalyze is the bottom of this cup of coffee, so I'm going to go ahead and let you get to breakfast, and we'll pick this up in 2 weeks. How's that sound?
All right, let's do that.
Well, thank you guys for listening to Two Guys, Zero Planners. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.